Hey, so some other fun things that you can do with not expensive supplies or things that you might have at home is printmaking. So printmaking is a type of technique that you can do all kinds of different ways, but it's where you're taking something and dipping it in an ink or a paint and stamping it on. So like stamps would be printmaking. You might have a t-shirt that has a logo on it that's screen print, where it can be replicated many different types. So we're going to do printmaking with found objects. So I'm not a hoarder, but I tend to look at objects differently. So like as I use food or I'm cleaning, I tend to save like little things like this if I know I'm gonna work on something with the kids or show something to my students. So I have like an apple juice cap. I have, this is from like a Starbucks syrup cap. I have, this is from one of those yogurts that has like M&Ms or toppings that you can mix in. Gatorade. This is from another syrup bottle. Jello, yesterday's snack. Applesauce. Toilet paper tubes, something fun. My daughter didn't put back her Play-Doh in her container, so I saved the container. I don't know where the lid is, that's a mystery. This is the cap of a shaving cream bottle. This is a toy that I'm constantly picking up, so I took it for art. Do you guys do that? I have a glow stick, and it's got like a really fun connector piece on it. This makes an awesome tiny circle. Pipe cleaners or wire. You know why this is cool? Because you can make anything you want with it. So I am going to make a shape. I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, it wants to be a star. So I just started bending to see what it wanted to be. It spoke to me. See what's happening? Okay. It's kind of a wonky star. That's all right. Let's see. Maybe we'll make it, yeah. Star seems too predictable. Let's do like just a four pointed shape. Okay, now, also parents, especially of toddlers, if your child loses the bubble, like wands, you can make your own. I've done that a lot. Or you're just bored, or the shape's not working, or it's not long enough. Use pipe cleaners, shape it into what you want, and then leave enough for a stick, and then you would dip this into the bubble solution, and then blow. It works, okay? Promise. All right, so this is gonna be my little shape. So I just made my own little stamp. How fun is that? You could do like the letter of your name or, you know, something you really love. I have popsicle sticks, and then I have more toilet paper tubes. You can bend them into shapes. So what's that shape, guys? Do you know? You see it? Okay. So I've got that heart, and I have a triangle. Now, if you're working with younger children, toddlers, I suggest cutting the tube so you have something a little smaller for them to grip. It'll make them work a little harder, which is really good for all these, you know, fine motor muscles for them to grasp and grab. Okay, so this is what my little work area. Look at all of these different choices I have. I mean, that is fun and crazy. Okay, and then you need the material. So I grabbed paint. Nothing special. It's poster paint. And then you need to put the paint in something. I use these ice cream lids. So I'm gonna point the camera down so you can see. I just put my primary colors, ooh la la, in there. You don't have to use lids. I use separate containers. You could put them all on a paper plate. It's completely up to you. Do whatever makes your child super happy, or you super happy, or something you have access to that's not a lot of work. This is meant to not give you a lot of work. Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties. All right, so I am just gonna start picking up objects and printing them. Now, could you make something out of this? Sure. Sure, it could be planned. Or it could just be abstract and fun and random. I'm gonna go with random. So that already has a color on it, it's fine. I am working on copy paper, nothing hard, nothing expensive, nothing heavy. You could do this on any nice paper you want. You could do this on canvas. And then underneath is a plastic folder from when I cleaned out Piper's backpacks, since school is no longer happening right now, I guess, right? Oh, I love primary colors. You guys have a favorite color? My favorite color is purple, but primary colors together make me happy. Love the heart. Now, if you're working with toddlers, it's a good idea to have a bin or a pan or just a plate of like, okay, dirty supplies are going to go here. You know, of course you can reuse. If you're working with small children, I wouldn't have this many choices. This is a lot of choices for them. That can be really overwhelming. So you might think about using less. So let's go with a smaller one. Now I haven't overlapped, so let's start overlapping these. Okay, the nice thing about overlapping is the colors will start to mix. Now they don't have to just stamp them. You might introduce this as once as to stamping, or you could have them, you know, smear. What will happen if you drag it across? I'll tell you right now, in case you want to make a rainbow. Your student or your artist might already automatically do that. You might automatically drag. So my glow stick, marker caps are great, Q-tips are great. You could do this with pencils. I would avoid giving them traditional paint supplies because it will make them just want to use the paintbrush instead of exploring. So if you yourself are into art and you're stuck, this is a great way to explore different shapes, colors, themes, patterns, to get yourself out of a rut if you're stuck. It's a great way to do that. Super fun. So things that can be washed, you might put in a separate bin so that you can wash it off and reuse it again. So I have a little water bowl over there. I don't know, with the paper towel tubes or toilet paper, the best thing you can do really is to wipe up excess and then let that guy dry, and then you could use it again for another project. Okay, let's give the wand a try. What do you guys think? Let's do red. Okay, so I'm just gonna dip, 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 dip. Now my paint tray, my shape's a little big for it. That's okay, it's just making a mess. Let's put it right here. I like that it's kind of just printing part of it. That's so fun. Something I love about printmaking is just the layering and the things that you start to find, like the different shapes and different colors and how they interact with each other or don't interact with each other. To me, that's interesting. I like that one. That's so fun. Okay, now I will tell you, don't try to save these pipe cleaners. Don't do it. Just throw it away. Call it a day. Okay. Now, you know your artist is done with this when they start like slapping the paint around. At that point, pull the supplies. Like, okay, I think we're done. Let's move on. At that point, they've exhausted some ideas. If you have older artists and they start to do that, like, oh, you know, here, try that cap. You hadn't seen what that done or has worked yet. Why don't you give that a go? But once they start, you know, really just kind of piling on, that's when I would pull the supply. Like, okay, we're done with that. Something else that's super fun is bubble wrap. Okay, so if your artwork is still wet, you can have them just push on this and pull it up and see what it does. See if it makes a print. Okay, so that's getting some paint on my bubble wrap, but it's also leaving marks, different marks on my paper. So let's put some down here. Okay, the other thing you can do with the bubble wrap, you can obviously cut this smaller too. You can have them push the bubble wrap right into the paint and then print from there. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Now what do you do with this? I mean, at this point, you let it dry. You let it do its thing, okay? And then what happens? Well, this could be a masterpiece all on its own. Or you could think about what else you can make out of it, whether you cut it up and make something new, whether this becomes a background for some other masterpiece, whether this becomes a background for a card for your children to write a letter or something to a friend or to a nurse or doctor or firefighter. You know, what other things could you do with it? So those would just be my ideas. So if you give it a go, this is a super fun one. This is super fun if you have older kids. Give them these supplies, give them some rules, and then go do the dishes or sit and watch a show. They don't need a lot of help with this one. So if you give this a go, we want to see those masterpieces.